Lock the script up. It won't be open until 2022. No one goes near the box. Remember, no comments to the press. The only communication is through social media now. If cornered, we are all thrilled. Never mind that. Let's go. We're done for the day. No, let's stay. Sit on that box. Hands on your knees. Come on, let's go. Move. Why is that script being locked away? Why hasn't production started? Who are you? Your fan base. You should be more concerned about getting out of here alive. I am more concerned with millions of fans waiting for a movie that isn't being shot. How will you explain this to them? Creative differences. My God, of course. You will use creative differences as an excuse for another delay. The blame will fall on the director and screenwriters. Everyone will assume, incorrectly, you were an innocent who only wants to give their fans the best possible product, and were forced to pull the plug. The delay will allow you to only use Craig to film Heineken commercials for the rest of his tenure. At a certain point, he'll be deemed too old to continue. Run the clock out on him, so to speak. You'll replace him with a new recruit, just in time for the 60th anniversary year. Something you would love to celebrate. That would be the most plausible explanation. Millions of fans who have been waiting for years will hold out hope for a film you have no intention of making, while you license their hero out for Lego toys. And Funko Pop dolls are quite profitable. And I don't suppose it matters a damn to you. All those fans will be devastated. Lifelong Bond fans who have supported their hero through all the ups and downs. Even going so far as seeing that Mark Forster fiasco you staged. We don't speak that name here. You'll take advantage of their goodwill, betting they'll buy everything you put that 007 logo on, and use the brand in other ventures, never putting the work into making a new motion picture. You fans think you know the movie business because you read box office numbers. You have no concept of the value of an IP in the 21st century, or how to manage it. On your feet, General. You're gonna start filming. It's too late. The tweet has already gone out. You deranged psychopath. What can we do? Whoever Eon has in charge of sending out their tweets, I mean, they're thrilled about this. Who wrote that? I get wanting to try to put a positive spin on this and try to convince us everything is running along smoothly, but I don't think I would have used the word thrilled in this. I mean, really poor choice of words. Thrilled. I guess they were just content when the flick was due November 2019. And they were feeling just okay when it was coming out February 2020. Now they're thrilled with April 2020. They'd probably be over the moon with November 2020. Yeah, they might want to push it back to then, but now I would think that would be kind of tough. Everyone must have that filming time in their schedules now, and delaying shooting any further, I mean, it would just create a real conflict with the cast, I would guess. I mean, Craig is supposedly set to shoot The Creed of Violence right after Bond 25, so no pushing things back any further. I think they're pretty much up against the wall at this point. They announced this latest delay the very next day after the 1-year mark on Valentine's Day. Initially, at that point, yeah, maybe you could hold on to some optimism about this. A lot of the thought is that Universal shuffled the release schedule around. I think Fast and Furious moved and it left a vacancy in April, so they decided to move Bond 25 there. Okay, so, it doesn't sound major, it's just a slight 2-month shuffle. It gave the production 2 months extra before the release. Alright, fine. But then, word got out that they hired Scott Z. Burns to work on the script. And what I've been reading is that it's not just a little tweaking or punching up the dialogue that he's doing, but I'm seeing words like massive overhauling, major rewrite, completely revised, an altogether new script. This sounds pretty ominous. If this is true, it doesn't sound like he's just reupholstering the interior, but building the whole car from scratch. So Burns is said to be spending 4 weeks working on the script in London. 4 weeks. Filming was pushed back from March to April now. Now, learning about this, suddenly them pushing back the release date feels more significant than just an innocuous shuffle. This little extra time is allowed to bring Burns on board, who supposedly they've wanted to get him for a while, but he's been unavailable. Now they got him, and he's locked in the London hotel room, probably banging away on a typewriter like Jerry Lewis. One of my first thoughts was, say they were stuck with that thrill-less Valentine's Day release date. They were on schedule and they were just going to start filming this March. They were just going to move forward without Burns rewriting the whole script from scratch, from what it's sounding like. Okay, so what kind of script were they planning to film? Now they're going to completely chuck the script and have someone completely rework it? This sounds a bit crazy. I'm getting Quantum of Solace flashbacks. This doesn't sound too promising, and it just reinforces my feelings that they don't know what they're doing. Now it sounds like they're up against a deadline to get filming, they're trying to whip something halfway decent together and get something completed for this new release date. It doesn't sound like the most ideal situation happening over there. The kicker to this is how much time has passed between Spectre and now. They're gonna overhaul a script 2 months before they start shooting now? They must be chugging Pepto-Bismol and Tums. It sounds maddening. Oh, the new working title is supposedly Shatterhand. Has everyone seen this? Uh-huh. I thought the working title for this was Bond 25. The Spy Command. He has this excellent blog and has this timeline of Bond 25. All the news, rumors, gossip that has been going on for the past 3-4 years about this movie. The thing is becoming a Bible. He told me that the Shatterhand title came up before, in 2017, and then again in 2018. It's just now the bigger news outlets picked up on it. They've run with it, and it's become this thing. So I wouldn't place much stock in it. And even if it's true, they're going to call Bond 25 Shatterhand. It's an alias that was used by Blofeld in Fleming's You Only Live Twice. Okay, that's the name they're going to call this, right? That doesn't excite me. It signals that they're going to continue down this Blofeld road that they laid out in Spectre. And I am not interested in seeing that story unfold any further. They screwed Blofeld up enough. Just drop it. Unless they just happen to be using the name Shatterhand to get a Fleming reference in the title, like they did with Quantum of Solace, and are going to come up with some other meaning for it. In which case, I would suggest they come up with a different title. They might as well give Craig a title with Live or Die in it. Most of the Bonds get one of those. Or with slight variations. We know they're probably trying to stick with some kind of continuity with Leia coming back. And they're going for a big grand finale. And now they're realizing just how difficult it is to come up with a story. Burns is probably banging his head against the wall.
It's odd, too, because I'm hearing from a lot of Bond fans, they just want to see an old-fashioned standalone mission. I don't think there's much of a demand for wrapping up all these story threads they've been trying to get going. My suggestion would be just forget everything that came before in those films. You don't have to tie them all together in this one. If Babs and Mike are demanding to stick with this continuity and link Bond 25 to all the ones that came before, I mean, I already talked about my problems with Spectre, so... Well, if I had to write something up, and they were forcing me to continue down that Spectre road, I would have to get creative and try to just retroactively fix a lot of the mess that Spectre created. I mean, maybe... You know how Blofeld had Bond strapped in the chair, and he was gonna wipe his memory away with the needle and stuff? Okay, so we start with the pre-credits sequence. We're right back to that scene. Bond's memory is all goofed up, and the last hour of Spectre ends up being a hallucination Bond is having. We can clean some things up by having Madeline being killed there too. The Scooby Gang rescues Bond out of the chair, Blofeld escapes, and now Bond is determined to catch Blofeld. Maybe the half-brother thing is something Bond dreamt up there too. I mean, even that sounds ridiculous, but... Oh boy, I don't know. I wonder if Burns knows about that James Bond codename theory. Might be time to give Tamahori a call. Alright, so April now. I mean, this was unexpected. I wasn't planning on doing another Bond video this soon. Forget Bond 25. I can't wait for the real truth to come out about what has been going on over at Eon for the past 3-4 years. I will be so psyched to read about that one day. Mr. Bond is indeed a very rare breed, soon to be made extinct.